20-minute walk to get there is actually more beneficial for you in the long run, because now when you get there, the calls are easier to make. And also, you're not trying to force the calls because you know you're in a good breeding ground. So let's talk about how this applies directly to money. There are 3 different levels of money that Myron Golden talks about. He talks about utilitarian. He talks about one that's in the middle. I can't quite remember, but I'll explain it. And the third one is premium value. So when you're in utilitarian value, this is where the money that you make is based off the utilitarian use of what you're selling or your ability. So this is labor. This is when you are selling something that only has one use. If I'm selling you headphones, you can only use them as headphones. That's it. They're just headphones. Okay, and then the second level is when you're selling, let's just say selling headphones, or you have a headphone business or something, and you are trying to sell it next to all the other brands. So now you have a cap on how much you can actually get at a time, because if I put $100 headphones inside of a Target, they might not sell as well. Well, $100 is not a lot for headphones, but I'm trying to make the point. If I put them in there, they're probably not going to get as much sales as the ones that are $20 or $50. But if I go and I put these headphones in an Apple store, they're going to really sell because they're next to things of its like kind. So put your skill, if you work a job or a career, put yourself next to the things that actually can breed the result that you want. Put yourself next to the Apple headphones, not in Target. And then the third level, right? So we go from just the headphones being headphones, and you have to just sell them based on how much. You can't charge $2,000 for headphones. There's a cap on how much you can sell headphones for in the first place. And then you can raise that cap if you start to go make it luxury. You put it in an Apple store, right? You raise it a little bit. And the third is when you really raise it, you can do whatever you want. This is where businesses lie. This is where your own business lies. Because now you can create your own headphone brand, and you're next to nobody. You're not next to any other headphones at all, which is the first level. And you're not next to any luxury headphones or ones around your price at all. You don't have any competition up there. So this is why you have to pick your life design first and then go for that. Because if your life design is to have a $2,000 headphone business, $2,000 headphone business, you're not going to make it there by selling the headphones next to all the other headphones that are just headphones, that are just sold to be utilitarian value, to be sold to just be worn as headphones. Because I'm pretty sure the $2,000 headphones you want to sell have a lot of value to them. They probably have $10,000 of value to them, and you're selling them for $2,000. Now, do I know if there's a $2,000 headphone business? There absolutely is. Because people pay that money for, let's just say, a professional who does production would pay that amount because they see that much value. And it's crazy because the person who does it professionally is not going to go to Target to get their headphones. And they're not going to go to Apple to get their headphones. They're going to go straight to the people who make the headphones, not for the utilitarian value or who make it to compare with other people. They're going to go to the person that makes it because they're the best. And so when you become the best at what you do, you don't have to pick what environment you're in. It's like going from the parking garage to the coffee shop to having your own calls, to having your own call center. That's what it's like. And so what is your capacity if you're in a parking garage? The calls ain't going through. If you go to a coffee shop, okay, you might get the calls going through, but you're not on your own Wi-Fi and you're around other people. You have to be quiet a little bit, maybe if they're blending something loud at the moment. But when you have your own coffee shop, guess what you can do? You can do whatever you want to do. And that environment is what breeds. That environment is what is going to breed the level of income that you want. So if you want a lot of money, you might want to move away from the current environment that you're in. I'm not saying the environment is the problem. It's absolutely not. I'm saying that some environments only can breed a certain thing. There's a cap to it. So if you're selling headphones because they're headphones, the cap might be $75. Like if I'm just looking for headphones that just work, I'm going to pay $70. But if I'm looking for a nice set, I'm going to go pay that $200 at Apple. But if I'm a professional that does this for a living and I am the best at what I do, I'm paying that $2,000 to make sure that what I do, what I produce is great. So it's about where you actually place yourself, and you first have to look at your life design. Life design. Look at your life design. What do you want your life to look like? And build the business, build the career, build the job on top of that. So you don't get stuck somewhere where it doesn't even match what you want. Because if you pick the job, career, and the income, business, whatever first, and then it doesn't match, the cap of that doesn't match what you want, they're going to have to leave anyways. If I chose to go to the parking garage, well, I'm going to have to leave anyways, because at some point, yeah, I can keep trying to make these calls, but there's just a cap to what I can do here. There's just a cap because I'm in a concrete cube. And that's just what it is. Nothing changes about the cube because I don't like it. Nothing changes about the coffee shop because I don't like it being loud in there. I have to choose to go elsewhere to breathe the life that I want. So I want you today to recognize and audit what's going on in your life and say, okay, is the life that I actually want capable in what I'm currently doing? Is the amount of money that I want even a possibility for the job I have? Am I making $50,000 wanting to make $200,000 and I know that's impossible with the job that I have, or near impossible, or at least it's going to take a long time to get there? And am I willing to move to get something different? Am I willing to change to get the income level that I want in return? 28 codes go so deep. I mean, this is just one 20th of one of the 28 codes. Knowing this stuff changes your perspective. It changes your ability to create the life that you want. It expands your money consciousness. If you're not in money consciousness community, it is a free community linked in my YouTube homepage. And there is where you get all of the information that expands your wealth consciousness so you can think differently. And then when you combine that with 28 codes and you're applying it to your everyday life, because there is action steps in there, that is really where it starts to blow up. And I just updated 28 codes. It is so good. I was just being pulled to create it and to update it. So you can grab that in my bio. Apply what I said in this video. Really let it resonate. Come watch it again tomorrow and let these words soak in. I promise that there is something in here for you to listen to, because there's a million videos that you could have watched, but you're watching this one. So I really want you to take that seriously as a sign and really let this stuff integrate deep into your soul.